Okay, so I just got home from my bike ride. Yes, in Iowa here, we are able to still take bike rides. I hope you are too, wherever you are. And I thought when I had the opportunity to get a little exercise, a little sunshine, a little conversation, because I went over to my friends, we took a walk and talked, and came home and had a cup of tea, that I would take advantage of it, and I did. It was a little blustery. It was a little chilly here in Iowa today. It's August 13th, still pretty cold. And but when I got back, I remembered that I needed to, I guess, get something in. I just remembered that I wanted to report on back to eating because yesterday was Easter, and Gary came over and we went to Taco John's and got takeout. And don't usually eat wheat, but I feel like it's a holiday and I break my little rules on holidays. And I got a super burrito, bean, and potato olays. He got a large potato. Not was it real large? I think it was pretty large. It wasn't extra large, I don't think, but it was pretty large. And I had at least half, maybe more, with ketchup. And I had salsa on my burrito with sriracha. It was very good. We watched some YouTube. We watched some Bald and Bankrupt, old ones, because he's not broadcasting right now because he goes around the streets, and I'm sure wherever he is, that's frowned upon on, you know, asking people questions, not social distancing. Can't do that right now. So anyway, so the past couple of days I've been eating quite a bit, and I just wanted, the main reason I wanted to get on was because when I weighed in this morning, I was 130. What was I wrote it down. 131. Okay. And like 4 days before I started my juice fast, I was 130.6. And the second day of my juice fast, I was 130.4. So, I gained a lot of weight back in like 3 days of eating. You could say I gained back 5.5 pounds. And I only lost 7 total. But what that doesn't take into consideration is if I hadn't been juice fasting, especially during this stressful time, I would have been stress eating and I would have gained weight. So that's what really needs to be taken into consideration. And if I hadn't done the fasting, the month before that, I might be creeping up around 145 by now. Who knows? So this is what it takes is, this, even with all that I've done, it's just a minor weight loss, but I'm not gaining weight. And I felt so good during my juice fast. The fasting was really, it's not really the type of fasting that's quote unquote in the Bible because they didn't have juicers back then. But, they did water fasting. But there is a resonance with that. There are ancillary results. You do get those types of results, and it really clears my thinking, very much so, and elevates my thinking, elevates my vibration. I think one's vibration. And I listened to a wonderful rant. I'm going to put it below by the Life Regenerator. You let it rip. You let it rip. The road is dividing between the people who are willing to, take charge of their health and do what they need to do to eat right, exercise, keep their weight down, get out in the sun, understand health. My great-grandfather was a country doctor in Ohio, and it was passed down through my mother, was my mother's grandfather, and Mom had a really good feeling about eating right and balanced meals, and the role that nutrition plays in good health. Her aunt used to chew her food like so many times, and I think that was a, kind of a fad or something, kind of a health fad. There was a doctor who recommended that, masticating like so many times per mouthful. But there was something in the wisdom that came down in her through her family to me of the fact that food plays a good, an important role in health. She would bake her own bread, whole wheat bread sometimes. We had honey in the house as a sweetener, no junk food really to speak of. I mean, not even to not speak of. It just wasn't there. It really wasn't. I mean, every once in a while, my father would buy a bag of Wise potato chips, which I just loved. And every once in a while, he'd buy a bag of Oreos, sugar wafers. But not very often. And it wasn't a staple. We didn't drink soda. If I got sick, my mother would buy ginger ale, Canada Dry ginger ale, because ginger is supposed to be good, and fluids when you had a cold. Coca-Cola syrup she would give me when I was ill, but we never had Coca-Cola in the house. It was soda. I mean, it was acknowledged that soda was not good for you, and we didn't get it. Candy, no. And it wasn't like it was, I felt deprived or, I felt good about it, because I got good food and it was tasty. And Mom cooked dessert sometimes, and we had dessert sometimes, but not with every meal. And just the idea that eating right was important. And if you get the food right, the health will follow. And the point was not, Mom was not doing this in the cause of, she never spoke of it as in the cause of good health. It was understood that this was required for good health, that you needed to eat right? So, anyway, I'm going to put that link to Dan McDonald, who's just really had it with this whole vaccine for good health. You can vaccinate your way to good health. And no. Yeah. And the idea that the body has an intelligence, and what you really need to do is get in balance, get your body in balance, and how you do that: exercise, fresh air, good food, good rest, meditate, relaxation, keep yourself relaxed, keep the stress down so that you can do all those things. And yeah, it's a good thing. But anyway, I just wanted to report that I went back to eating, and I like to eat. And I made some cookies. I made some almond cookies yesterday. They were so tasty. And I do like to eat. That's the other thing my mother gave me, was a love of good food, and cooking. And, so there you are. But I'll do the fast again after 20 days, and I'll push back again. And, it's a process. It's an ongoing process. So that's it. I just wanted to report on what happened on Easter Sunday and what happened when I weighed in this morning. Okay.